Today is not a good day. Well, it is technically a good day. I mean, we all woke up this morning breathing, so yes, it is a good day. Gotta thank the Lord for that when you know how it is. But in the sense of video game things, today, or rather yesterday, I am a bit late to the party, was not a good day. You guys knew this video was coming, and I honestly thought about making it yesterday when the news dropped, but I wasn't really thinking about it too heavily. I got a few big things happening in life. I'm about to become a pilot in the Air Force, flying either Predator drones or F-22 Raptors. The listing hasn't come down yet, so I can't say for sure. So safe to say I wasn't too focused on the status of a video game. That was until I read more into what had actually happened. EA dropped the bomb that I feel like everyone already knew, but were too afraid to say it might happen. And that is, they are pulling the plug on Unbound. Boom, boom. If that wasn't enough,
and I'm not gonna stop,
EA then came up with the 190 IQ idea to pull the entire studio to another game. So not only are we not getting updates to the game isn't even getting touched at all forever. Ladies and gentlemen, it turns out Volume 10 will forever be in our hearts, and that's where it will apparently stay, because there is no way that it's ever coming out unless some modders come together to make it, but that's only for PC. So for console, I'm sorry. I feel like if we were to pull up the Criterion studios right now, every single instance of Need for Speed Unbound would be gone. The posters ripped off the walls with the glue still on there, the car models thrown in the trash next to the coffee grains, and all the files of the game dumped in the Windows recycling bin. I might be exaggerating just a tiny bit here, but how quickly things went from great to bad needs to be studied. How did the day go from waiting for a sneak peek of Volume 10 or an announcement of a new Need for Speed game to EA dropping a turd on our foreheads? Now, and someone please correct me in the comments if I am wrong, it seems we won't be getting a new game for a fat minute, and there will be no updates ever again for Unbound. Seems familiar. Seems like we are getting a Need for Speed Heat Part 2. The dark ages have rolled right back around, and this time it honestly surprised me. I thought we were in the clear, and that I was going to be able to make content on new stuff dropping for the game for yet another year. I guess not, so either we're going to be moving to a different game, or I'm selling this YouTube channel on eBay. If you see an advertisement for this page, mind your business, it's rough out here. But if we are breaking down based off of the verbiage that was said by whoever got paid to write these articles, they are putting Need for Speed on a hiatus. In 22, Unbound dropped. In 23, it got updates. In 24, we thought a new game would come out, and it turned out we got yet another year of updates for Unbound. It is now 2025, and there will be no Need for Speed. I highly doubt in 2026 it will drop either, due to them actually needing time to make a new game. And remember, EA pulled all the funds and people together to make this new Battlefield. Speaking on this new Battlefield, with all the pure BS EA has been pulling, not just this year, but last year too,
and I'm not gonna stop,
this game better be the best thing I have ever played and seen ever. It better be in 4K, 200 FPS at all times, and my PC can't even run that. I would say this game better make me feel I'm actually there in real life, but after watching some gameplay of what be happening in Battlefield, I think I'm good. I think I'd be pretty mad if someone jumped out of a jet, blew me up, then jumped back in their jet and flew off. All that to say that this game better not flop, because if this is the reaction EA had to their last game flopping, then imagine what would happen if this one does as well. Not only would they probably do something stupid, as they are well known to do, that means the entire time Criterion was working on that new Battlefield, they could have been doing things for their own game. Imagine you're building your own house, right? And then the company tells you to stop building that house, your house, and start from scratch on a building right next to which is not even in your contract to do. You spend years and years building that new house for someone completely different, and then one day a hurricane comes and blows down that new house you just finished working on, but the one you were previously working on, you know, your own house, was left perfectly standing. how would you feel? Like your time was wasted, right? That's how I imagine the devs would feel if this game were to flop again. There are a few articles that have dropped on the subject, and we will have a live reaction to all of them soon. So I just wanted to pick a few parts from them each and kind of put them into this introduction type of video on the absolute slap in the face we got yesterday. Like, I kid you guys not. I saw the news and just immediately thought to myself, well, just F the Need for Speed community, huh? I guess that goes to show that the real world works when money is the core of all things. Don't make enough money, you get pushed to the side. Simple as that. Notice how I didn't say Need for Speed doesn't make money. I said they don't make enough money. There is a difference. You can make a company money, but when they look at their income and losses throughout the year, if you aren't making back at least a little bit what was put into your game, you might be receiving the axe. Battlefield makes more money than Need for Speed and releases less than the racing genre. So of course it was going to eventually take priority. Remember, they announced the new Battlefield getting worked on way back then. This stuff isn't new to us at all. But they allowed a few members of Criterion to still work on Unbound. I guess since it is getting closer to the deadline for a new Battlefield release, they pulled everyone like it was Marvel Studios and the Avengers. Now back to the articles. One thing that stuck out to me is the fact it has been 100% confirmed that no more updates will come to Unbound. I am not joking. This one hit me the hardest. They straight up said, since we're at the end of live service on Unbound, we won't be updating the game or making any more changes. But rest assured, your notes and comments are being captured and will help inform the future. Are we so for real right now? I genuinely at first thought they were trolling, because how are you going to have something like that in the first 5 seconds of the article, but then the article is supposed to be about the feedback they got for stuff they added into the game? I don't even want to look at the rest of the article anymore. You have crushed my dreams and spit in my face, EA. To give them their props, at least they had the balls to say it straight up in a feedback post instead of put it in a buried tweet somewhere or something like that. There were so many things that could have been done with this game for another year, and what people don't seem to understand for some reason is not every update needed to be Kaizen level, bro. Every update did not need to be on the level of Drift and Drag or Hot Pursuit or Lockdown. When people said they wanted a volume 10, they wanted a volume that would fix the bugs that have been there for 2 years straight and also give us a car or two. That's it. Nothing crazy or game changing like Toyota, of course. Like, let's be realistic, bro. But at least something cool, right? It just hits so much harder because now that they have said this, every single thing that we noticed past this update, including any bugs or game breaking things, will not be fixed. And it has been confirmed to not be fixed. We won't be getting any off-road additional tracks, even though they only have 2 playlists in the entire game. Cops won't be updated, no Heat 6, no nothing. PvP will never have all the tiers available, nothing. So many people have the stutter bug, including myself. Guess we all just gotta go die in a hole or something, huh? Even more people have the bug where their cars won't even save after lockdown extractions. Well, guess it sucks to suck, bro. In instances like this, I feel EA is so disconnected from their player base regarding Need for Speed in general that they no longer have any empathy for the community due to the fact that these things do not personally affect their lives or their pockets. Another thing I want to talk about is what is said in another article. While this small detour at the time completely halts the development of Need for Speed Unbound's content and possibly a future title, the scramble to bring their flagship shooter back on track feels more than a justified reason to take away all the attention for now. Completely halt is crazy wording, and there was no way someone didn't have a gun to the back of their head held by an EA staff member writing this article. That means there is no effort being put into a new game at all. Even the inch of hope that people had that there was a new game going to either be released this year or announced this year is done. To top this all off, there isn't even a date that the franchise is going to make a return to production. I feel like this wouldn't have hit as hard if we had something to look forward to, but we don't. They give us no insight of a time frame and no estimated year. I seriously doubt that a new Need for Speed will drop in more than 5 years from this year, but with no date set in stone, that could very easily be a real possibility, which is 1, a huge problem, and 2, actually insane to think about. It's no surprise that Need for Speed is not as big as it was back in the day, and when long breaks like this happen for a smaller franchise like this, it's never good. Now, games like Battlefield, ironically, and GTA can do things like this because their communities are so big, they will always have enough hype to carry to the next game, no matter the time delay, and yes, this includes Battlefield 2042. That game sucked and flopped completely, but guess what? People are hyped for the next one though. For Need for Speed, this could be a death sentence. I am 100% not being dramatic. Okay, maybe I'm being a little dramatic. But this is not good, and I can honestly see another Need for Speed Heat event coming. That was the deadest I have seen the community in a long time between the weight of Heat and Unbound. Sure, they dropped Hot Pursuit Remastered, but I mean, come on now. Let's not make jokes in this time of mourning, gentlemen. Looking back at all the videos I created regarding things they could add to Unbound, it really feels silly. I mean, back then we were talking about them adding more brands and more tracks and even adding more to the story mode. But the saddest part is, all of you guys coming together, which rarely happens in this weird community, and agreeing that more could be added to the game. Guess we will never know from the dev side making it an official DLC for the game. Listen here, you modders have a real chance to shine, bro. If you guys all come together and stop arguing about Unite versus Remix and all that dumb crap, you can pull all the resources and make a crazy update for Unbound. Will you probably need a $10,000 gaming computer to run it, and will it only satisfy 1% of the community? Yes, but at least we got something, right? In all seriousness, the PC players have it great with their dreams becoming a reality, but for everyone else, I guess it's finally time to say goodbye, man. We had some fun years though, and the truth is, the Kaizen team really held out for as long as they could. I'm 100% sure EA was pestering them all the time to stop working on Unbound and help with Battlefield, but they held on and stood on business. We got 4 amazing updates that changed the game and made it totally different from what it was in its first year. We won't go through all the volumes because we already did that in its own videos. You can do that on your own time. But it was a night and day difference between the game's different states, and we can only thank Kaizen for that. So we gotta give it up. We gotta clap it up for them because they did what they came to do, and they did it to the best of their ability. Because remember, this could have been like Heat, where we got nothing, and they decided to abandon the franchise. Imagine if the game stopped at Volume 2, and that was it. Then the news drops. See how bad things could have actually been? But that didn't happen. We got amazing content, and the game got left on a good note, even with all the bugs. One more thing is the IP. I doubt they would sell the IP, even though Need for Speed isn't as popular as other EA franchises and other racing games out there. It still makes at the very least the bare minimum needed to continue getting funded in general. As long as something is still profitable, EA will use it. I'm pretty sure we all know this. When things start to pull money with nothing in return is when you see things like cancellations and the selling of game rights occurring. I don't think it has gotten to that level, and probably never will get to that level unless the community keeps going on the path it is now. I heard from the grapevine that if you were in the Need for Speed Discord yesterday and talking good about Unbound, you were gonna get timed out or something. Hey, but that is what happens when you let a bunch of adult children control something, huh? Anyway, this isn't a situation about Need for Speed not making money. There are just bigger fish to fry over in the EA kitchen, and there's more money to be made. Think about it this way. Should you invest in a game that will make $1 million next year, or invest in a game that will make $10 million over the course of 4 years? Business is business, and as an adult in the functioning world, I understand that. But like I said, we're going to be breaking down the articles one by one, and of course I want everyone's feedback on what is going on. Today's video was like a mind dump of what is going on and how I feel about it. If you enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.